Welcome to your yoga practice. This is Cozy Flow with Christine for Yoga for Love online yoga teacher training school. Tonight's practice is going to be low and slow, and we're going to keep the body temperature down this evening because it's so hot this summer. So let's go ahead and lay down on our backs. You could even do this on your bed or on a towel or on a blanket if you don't have a yoga mat available. And we're gonna bend our knees and point them up to the sky and have our feet, soles of the feet, flat on the mat, and just kind of scooch them out, sort of heel toe them so that they're wider than your hips, about as wide as your yoga mat would be or is. And then let the knees just kind of gently fall in toward the center so that they're supporting one another. And as we do this, why don't we bring our hands to the belly? And we're just going to start by noticing the breath. Just notice how the air feels as it enters through your nose. You can kind of feel it touching your nostrils. And then just with the mind's eye, sort of follow the breath down into the lungs. And then follow the breath as it comes back out to exhale through the nose. And then notice how the air feels as it leaves your nose. And just notice that. Whatever it is, don't try to change it. Just let your body do its thing. And maybe kind of press your feet a little bit onto the earth so that you can gently lift your hips up just enough so that you can settle them more firmly down on the support you have underneath you. Press your feet firmly onto your yoga mat, wherever you are. Maybe tuck the chin just a little bit so that the neck can be nice and long as you continue to notice the breath going in and out of your nose. Maybe kind of press your elbows onto the mat and lift your shoulder blades up just enough so that you can kind of draw them in to hug towards one another. And then settle them more firmly down onto your mat. And then take your awareness to your hands on your belly. Just notice how the belly rises and falls beneath your hands with each inhalation and exhalation. Or maybe you're not even breathing into your belly, maybe you're breathing into your chest. If that's the case, just notice that. Just keep your awareness on the breath, on the support underneath you. Maybe notice what you can see, or maybe you have your eyes closed and you're looking at the insides of your eyelids. Either way, whatever makes you feel more comfortable with eyes opened or closed, just notice what you see as you continue to notice the breath. And then maybe let's deepen the breath a little bit and really activate that nice deep breath. Inhaling through the nose, letting the air come through the lungs and letting the belly expand into the hands as the diaphragm pushes down onto your innards, your inner organs. And then notice how the belly falls and the Breath travels back upward to exit out the nose. And just see if you can find a nice balanced breath so that it takes just as long to exhale as it does to inhale. Maybe even count in your head how many beats it takes to draw in your inhale. So maybe you inhale for 1, 2, 3. Try and see if you can exhale for 1, 2, 3. Maybe it takes you 2 beats. Maybe it takes you 4 or 6. It doesn't matter. Just see if you can't find a nice, balanced breath. And that's the main thing we want to focus on today in our practice, is maintaining this nice, deep, balanced breath. And if at any point your mind begins to wander or the pose does not feel good in your body, just come back to the breath and come back to this constructive rest pose. And just be. This is doing yoga right here. You don't have to make it be anything fancy. It's just being present and being gentle with and listening to your body. So let's just go ahead and take 3 nice cleansing breaths. And so we'll inhale through the nose, and as we exhale, let's exhale through the mouth and maybe even make a nice audible sigh. So just be a big inhale through the nose and then let it go through the mouth. And again, inhale through the nose and let it go with a sigh. One more time. And then we'll come back to breathing through the nose, in and out. If that feels good, if you have allergies and it's hard for you to breathe through the nose, you can definitely breathe through the mouth. Just honor your body. And with our hands on our bellies, let's just bring an intention of being tender with ourselves today. Just bringing the tenderness to ourselves like we would to a small child or to a puppy. And just being gentle and being kind. And throughout this practice, let's just maintain awareness of the breath and an intention of just showing ourselves some tenderness. Let's just inhale through the nose. And as we exhale, let's begin to walk the feet in toward one another so that they're parallel with the knees, in line with the hips. Take another breath in, and as you exhale, go ahead and draw one knee and then the other into the chest. And give yourself a big hug, wrapping your hands around your knees or around your shins if that feels good to you. And just hold on wherever it feels comfortable, and maybe even rock gently a little bit from side to side. Rocking over onto your left hip or maybe on your low back. If you have your knees drawn in closer to the collarbones, you will massage yourself a little bit higher up your back. If you draw your knees away and have them more over the hips, you'll massage yourself lower on the back, maybe even on the upper part of the buttocks. Just kind of listen to your body and notice wherever you feel any spots of tenderness, And just be gentle with those areas. Maybe if you find a spot that's tight or has any tension, you could inhale your breath and take your mind's eye to focus on those areas, expanding them with that inhalation, that oxygen. And as you exhale, see if you can find a little bit of softness and a little bit of release in those spots. And then let's go ahead and bring the sole of the right foot down to the mat, pointing the right knee up towards the sky as we continue to hug that left shin in towards the chest. Breathing here, that nice balanced breath that you created for yourself. And then maybe let's, if it feels good, extend that left leg and let the sole of the foot shine up towards the sky. And maybe the leg is straight, maybe the knee is bent. Find what feels good here in your body and maybe clasp your hands around behind the left thigh. And just maybe rotate your ankles a little, your left ankle here in one direction and then the other. Maybe flex and point your toes and just get a little movement there in the ankle. And then as you inhale, press the sole of the foot up towards the sky. And as you exhale, let the knee bend and let the right or left foot come down towards the back of the thigh. And inhale, flexing your foot and pressing the sole up to the sky. And exhale to bend. Just getting a little movement here in the knee now. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. One more time. Inhale the sole of the foot up. Exhale to bend the knee. And then hug the left knee in towards the collarbones. Breathe here, couple full breaths as you reconnect your back with the mat beneath you. Reconnect the sole of your right foot firmly to the mat. Hug those shoulder blades in together and tuck the chin to keep the neck nice and long. And you can either stay here or you can swing the left knee out towards the left side and bring the outside of the left ankle to the top of the right thigh, coming into a nice little figure 4 stretch here. So the right foot is pressing down onto the mat and the left ankle is on top of the right knee. And you can keep your hands on your belly here, or maybe you might want to take your left hand and sort of push into the left thigh with the heel of your left hand, kind of opening up that hip a little bit, maybe giving the left thigh a little bit of a massage here. Finding a little space if that feels good in your hip. Continue to breathe here. And if you like, you can inhale here and then exhale to sort of draw the right knee in towards the chest. And you can thread the left arm through the space between the thighs and maybe clasp around behind the back of the right thigh. And you can lift up the head, lift up the shoulders so that you can reach better around the back of that right thigh. But then once you have your hands clasped, go ahead and let the shoulders and the head come back down to the mat. And just kind of gently hug that right knee in towards the chest, still with the left ankle on top of the right thigh. And notice what you feel in that left hip. Notice what you feel in the outer left thigh maybe. Just let the right foot be relaxed here. But if you have any knee issues in that left knee, you might want to flex the left foot, letting it be strong and letting those ligaments support that knee. But if this is comfortable for your knee, you can just let the left foot be soft. And you can roll around a little bit gently like we did at the beginning. Just giving yourself a little massage across the back. And you could maybe inhale here and sort of press the back of your right thigh into your hands. And as you exhale, draw the right knee in towards the chest, really increasing that stretch in the left thigh. Inhale to press away. Exhale to draw closer. Inhale to press away. Exhale to draw closer. And if you're really flexible or warm here and you want to increase the stretch, you could reach your clasped hands around in front of the shin and draw the legs in even closer, getting more of a stretch in that left outer thigh, that IT band there. Or you could see how it would feel to extend the right leg up towards the sky and reach around to clasp behind the right calf and hug the legs in closer this way. So wherever you are, maybe experiment a little bit with all the possibilities here and find the one that best fits your body. And maybe even if you've got your leg extended and the hands around the calf, you might even want to let go a little bit and massage the calf here with your fingertips and your thumbs. Maybe massage with your thumb along the shin here, which can be a really hard place to stretch. So getting a little massage in there might feel good. And just give yourself a little bit of love, a little bit of tenderness. Be gentle with these legs that support us all the time. Keep us connected to the earth. Take one more full breath wherever you are. And then go ahead and unwind the legs and hug both knees back into the chest again. Inhale and exhale your nice balanced breath. Maybe lift the nose up towards the knees, hugging in, making a little ball with yourself here. And the next time you exhale, go ahead and release the sole of the left foot down to the mat and hug that right knee in towards the chest. Maybe if you have your hands clasped together around the knee, you might want to shift your fingers over one digit so that you're not in your default clasp, but you're doing something a little different, which helps us build new synapses in our brain. And you could hug that knee in here. And we're going to do the same exact thing with the right leg that we just did with the left. So let's go ahead and inhale and press the sole of the right foot up towards the sky and maybe reach around to clasp with that awkward clasp behind the back of the right thigh. Maybe rotate the ankle in one direction and then the other. Maybe you get a little snap, crackle, pops, which I always do. Maybe flex and point the toes. Just get a little movement there. And then let's press the sole of the foot up towards the sky and take the leg as straight as feels comfortable to you. And as you exhale, bend the knee and let the foot come towards the back of the thigh. And we'll inhale to press the sole up and exhale to bend the knee. We'll do that 2 more times, just finding a little gentle movement in the joint of the knee, keeping everything nice and aligned. And the next time we come down towards the back of the thigh, go ahead and gently swing the right knee out towards the right and bring the outside of the right ankle to the top of the left thigh. Coming into figure 4 here with the right leg. Maybe pressing into that right thigh with the heel of the right hand, opening up and pressing the knee away gently. Getting a little space here in the hip flexor. And just letting it be soft, noticing if you're holding any tension anywhere, maybe in the jaw or in the shoulders or the arms, and just let those places soften. And maybe you want to thread the needle here on this side, letting the right hand come through the space between the thighs and clasping that awkward clasp again behind the left thigh this time. Drawing both legs into the chest and maybe rocking a little bit from side to side. Again, if you've got any discomfort in this right knee, go ahead and feel free to come back down to the mat here or flex that right foot to engage the tendons to keep that knee safe. Maybe we'll inhale and press that left foot into the hands and exhale to draw the legs in closer to the heart. Inhale to press away. Exhale to draw closer. Inhale to press. Exhale to draw inward. And maybe explore, seeing if it feels good to clasp around in front of the shin here. Or even extending that left leg up towards the sky and reaching around behind the calf to draw the left toes closer to the forehead or towards the forehead. Obviously, you're not going to get it to the forehead. That would be a miracle, really, I guess. Just maybe massage that calf and along the shin. Just letting it be yummy and feel good and noticing where you're tender and just finding some gentleness in those areas. One more full, actually two more full breaths here. Let's just settle in. And the next time you exhale, go ahead and unwind. Hug those knees into the chest. Maybe draw the nose up to the knees if that feels good. And then let's go ahead and inhale. One nice big full body stretch. Stretching the fingertips away from the toes. Stretching your body as long as it gets. Inhaling and exhaling that nice big balanced breath here. One more big inhale here, and as you exhale, go ahead and bend the knees again, pointing them up towards the sky, bringing the soles of the feet to the mat in line with the hips and parallel with one another. Tuck those shoulder blades in towards one another as you press into the backs of the arms to gently lift away and draw them in. Tuck the chin. And spread the arms out wide in a nice big T shape here. And we're just going to windshield wiper the knees a little gently from side to side. Maybe just drawing the knees towards the left. Just a little bit, not a big movement to start with here. And then back up to the sky. And then over towards the right, just like windshield wipers. Maybe you might want to walk the feet out a little wider on the mat if that feels more comfortable in your hips. Inhale the knees back to the sky, and as you exhale, let them come over to one side. Inhale the knees back to the sky and exhale to the opposite side. Just nice and slow. Moving with your breath at your pace. We don't have to be synchronized here like aerobics or something. Please love your body. Let it tell you what it wants. Maybe as you send your knees over to the right, you take your gaze out over the left palm, looking in the opposite direction, getting a gentle twist, and then switching sides, the left knees to the left and the gaze to the right. Getting a little gentle movement in the hips now, and a little gentle movement in the neck. And the next time you bring the knees over to the right and the gaze to the left, just stay here. Breathe. And maybe you might want to tuck a blanket or a pillow or a rolled up towel or something underneath the right knee for a little bit of support if it doesn't come all the way down to the mat. Just make yourself comfortable here. And just rest, gazing over the left palm, noticing any places where you might be holding any tension and just letting that go, just letting a little bit of softness come to those places. Breathing into the belly, that nice balanced breath. If you want a little bit more of a stretch in that outer left hip, you could inhale and lift the right leg up and take the outside of the right ankle to the outside of the left thigh. Balancing that right ankle, letting the weight of it, not any pressure, not pulling or forcing, but just letting the weight of the right leg draw more space along that left hip. Breathing into that hip, opening it up, just letting it be nice and fluid and gentle. Wherever you are, we're just going to take 2 more full breaths here. Taking your awareness to all the places where the stretch feels the best. The next time you exhale, really draw that belly button in towards the spine so that you can release the legs and inhale to draw the knees back up towards the sky. And then we'll go ahead and let the legs come over to the left side as we gaze out over the right hand. And we'll just stay here and breathe. Again, you can put a support underneath that left knee or the outer left thigh if that feels good to your body. And we're just going to find any place where we can bring our attention and some softness and some release, softening through the face, the fingers, the toes. Breathing into any tension and exhaling to let the tension go. If you want to explore the deeper pose here, you could bring the left ankle to the outside of the right thigh and let the weight of that left leg just draw space between the ribs, space in the right thigh, along the waist. Looking out over that right palm. Maybe if you feel good, closing the eyes and just breathing. 2 more breaths wherever you are. And the next time we exhale, let's draw that belly button into the spine to bring that core on board so we can safely take those knees back up to the sky. Let's inhale here and then exhale, drawing the knees in towards the chest and drawing the nose towards the knee, finding our little ball, our little hug here, realigning the hips and the spine and the neck. And then let's go ahead and bring the soles of the feet back to the earth, and we'll just find a few gentle pelvic rocks here. So bring your hands to the tops of the hip bones here. They're these little ASIS bones, as is bones, pokey outy bones. And just rest your fingers on those bones, being aware of having the alignment here. And we're going to kind of picture the pelvis as a bowl. So the small of the back is kind of the bottom of the bowl, sitting against the mat. And the hip bones are sort of the rim of the bowl. And we're just gonna tilt the pelvis back and forth, drawing the small of the back towards the mat and lifting just a little bit on that tailbone, tilting the bowl towards your face. And then tilt the bowl away from the face so that we're lifting the small of the back from the mat and pressing the tailbone down. We're just gently rocking the bowl of the pelvis back and forth, finding a little gentle movement now in the small of the back, in the lumbar spine, making space in between all the vertebrae here. Just gently rocking back and forth and maybe moving with the breath, inhaling to tilt the bowl towards you, exhaling to draw the bowl away. And then let's take the palms of the hands down to the mat, pressing the hands, grounding down, coming to a nice, stable, stationary pelvis again. We'll open up through the collarbones, pressing the shoulders onto the mat, and we'll just gently come into a really shallow bridge, just inhaling to rock the pelvis towards you and just lifting the hips from the mat, and exhaling to let one vertebrae at a time come back down. We'll inhale to roll up just an inch or two, not very far. Exhaling to roll back down. Inhaling to roll up, drawing space in the hip flexors in the front of the thighs and rocking down, making space in between the vertebrae, and letting that spinal fluid do its job in there. And if it feels good to you, the next time you inhale and roll up, maybe come up a little higher and maybe stay here, pressing into the soles of the feet and really opening up through the fronts of the hips here. Not really clenching the buttocks, in fact, finding a little bit of softness there. And really focusing on the opening in the front of the hips and the opening in the small of the back and opening through the collarbones and kind of lifting the heart towards the chin and lifting the gaze up towards the sky, taking one more big inhale all the way down into the belly. And as you exhale, roll one vertebrae at a time, slowly, slowly, slowly down to the mat. And then let's inhale everything long, sending the fingertips away from the toes, wiggling the fingers, maybe circling the wrists and circling the ankles. Continuing to breathe your nice big balanced breath, and maybe you stretch long through the right side body and then long through the left side body, almost like you're climbing a ladder here from side to side. One more big breath here. And then let's bend the knees again. Bring the soles of the feet to the mat. And we're gonna flip over. And you can do that by either rolling to one side of the other and turning around on the mat. Or you can hug the knees into the chest, and maybe if you're on a hard surface, you can kind of rock up and down the spine a little bit, giving yourself a nice little massage up and down the back, and then coming to your seat before you flip over. Let's go ahead and take 3 more cleansing breaths here. If it feels good for you to sit on your heels here a little bit and get a little stretch in the front of the thighs here. We'll take or you could sit on a cushion here if that would feel better for your knees or your hips. And this is called Hero's Pose, Vrasana. We're just going to find those 3 cleansing breaths here, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth, closing the eyes if that feels comfortable. We'll inhale and exhale through the mouth. Inhale, drawing the spine long. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale, tucking the chin, drawing the shoulder blades down and towards one another, and then exhale through the mouth. Then let's kind of just shake the arms out. Maybe shake the head a little bit from side to side. Just shaking it off. And then let's crawl the fingertips forward, drawing the arms down long, keeping the sit bones down towards the heels, and maybe bringing your forehead down to the mat or to a block or to a small cushion. Or you could take the knees out as wide as the mat and bring the big toes together to touch so that there's more space to bring the forehead closer to the mat. Coming into child's pose here. You can stretch those fingertips out nice and long, get a nice big stretch through the side body, and then just let the forearms soften down to the mat, letting there be no effort here. Coming back to the breath, inhaling through the nose, finding that nice balanced breath, counting in your mind to match the length of the exhale with the inhale. Maybe you might want to nod your head yes, or shake your head no, or make some little circles with the forehead in one direction and then the other. Giving yourself a little forehead massage here in the space between the eyes. Inhale here, noticing how the skin of the back expands with the breath. And exhale to just let it go and let the body be soft. Find a couple nice, big, balanced breaths here. Drawing the air all the way into the lungs so that the belly expands. Finding more and more softness with every exhale. Noticing the support of your mat or towel or whatever you're laying on underneath you. Noticing the solidity of it underneath your hands and your shins and the tops of your feet and your knees, your forehead. Feeling grounded and supported by the earth underneath you. And then let's kind of walk the hands over to the right, keeping that left sit bone anchored down towards the left heel and making space all the way up along the left side body.
You can rest your forehead to the mat or to your bicep here, wherever it naturally feels comfortable as you inhale space between the ribs and into the armpit and up along the outside of the arm. Noticing where you feel sensation and what it feels like. Breathing your balanced breath here. The next time you exhale, go ahead and release. Walk the hands through center and over to the left. Settling back in, opening up space in the right side body. Anchoring that right hip down towards the right heel. Noticing what you feel. Breathing here. The next time you inhale, let's go ahead and draw back to center and kind of lift the hips just enough to come into a sort of a tabletop position in the upper body here. So we're still keeping the knees as wide as the mat if that feels good to you, or they can be parallel if that feels better. And we're kind of gonna plant that left palm right underneath your face. And we're looking down at the back of the left hand. Let's lift the right hand from the mat and draw the fingertips along the inside of the left arm, kind of like you're pulling back the bow of a bow and arrow. Drawing the right fingertips across the left shoulder and the collarbones in the right shoulder and reaching the fingertips up towards the sky. Getting a nice big twist here. And if this doesn't feel good on the shoulder, the arm can be down low. Just find as high a reach as feels comfortable in your arm. Maybe just finding a nice stretch here, but no pain. Inhale and wiggle the fingertips up towards the sky. And as you exhale, let's bring those right fingertips down to the mat behind and underneath the left forearm. Threading through here and coming down to the right shoulder and the right temple. Getting a nice big twist here, inhaling and exhaling just to soften and let the hips be heavy. Resting the weight of the body onto that right shoulder, opening up the right shoulder blade here. Finding that nice balanced breath. You can draw that left arm out long and get more of a stretch along the left side body. Or you can rest the left forearm down to the mat. Breathing here. Finding any place where you might be exerting effort that's not serving you and just letting that effort go. If you want more of an opening here between the shoulder blades, you could bring the back of the left hand to the small of the back, kind of opening up through that left shoulder. Or you could reach the left fingertips up towards the sky. Or maybe it might feel good to press the heel of the left hand into the heel of the right hand and draw the left shoulder open that way. Or you can stay relaxed down to the mat, whatever is feeling good to you tonight. Take 2 more full breaths wherever you are. And the next time you inhale, go ahead and unwind yourself. Come back up into tabletop in that upper body, and then shift the right palm underneath the gaze. And let's draw those left fingertips back like you're drawing back the bow of an arrow, reaching all the way up to the sky, Simultaneously lifting the fingers to the sky as you press down to the earth with your right palm and your knees. One more big inhale here, and then let's exhale to draw the left fingertips behind the right forearm, coming down to the left shoulder this time, the left temple. Letting the hips just be really, really heavy here, drawing towards the heels and finding your twist, your thread the needle. What does it look like in your body? So that might be reaching the fingertips out long and getting that big side stretch, or relaxing the right forearm down to the mat or even on top of the left arm. Or letting the small of the hand come to the back of the hand come to the small of the back, or reaching high to the sky, or pressing palm to palm, drawing that right shoulder away. Take a moment to explore the possibilities here and find what serves you best tonight. And when you find that place, take some time for stillness. Take 3 full, deep, rich, balanced breaths. Letting the back body expand every time you inhale. And letting the whole body soften every time you exhale. Softening the jaw. Softening around the eyes. And the next time you inhale, let's unwind. Press back up onto tabletop in the hands and draw the knees in underneath the hips. Let the tops of the feet be down to the mat, and we'll just find a quick tabletop here, and we'll just lengthen from the tailbone all the way through the crown of the head, drawing as much space in between all the vertebrae as you can. And the next time you inhale, let's drop the belly and lift the heart, gently bending the elbows and lifting the tailbone, coming into cow pose. And as you exhale, press into the palms, round the back. Let the head be heavy and press up into cat pose. Inhale, cow. Drawing the heart forward and the tailbone to the sky. Exhale, cat, rounding back into cat pose. 2 more cat-cows here, moving with your breath at your pace. And then let's go ahead and come back to tabletop. And as you walk the hands forward, go ahead and take the forearms down to the mat and stretch the body out long, coming into a nice, gentle Sphinx pose here. So the elbows are underneath the shoulders, the forearms and the palms are planted firmly on the mat. We're tucking the chin and drawing the shoulders away from the ears and down toward one another. Pressing the pubic bone and the tops of the feet to the mat. If this is pinchy on your low back, you can take the feet out as wide as the mat. Or if it feels better, you can have the legs parallel to one another. Keep that chin tucked to keep the neck nice and safe. Inhale here, and as you exhale, let the chin come towards the chest. Inhale and kind of roll that left ear over towards the left shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale the right ear towards the right shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. Left ear, left shoulder. chin to chest. Right ear to the right as you inhale. And then just find a little freestyle here. Noticing what's going on in your neck. If you find any spaces that feel like they need just a little bit more of a stretch, stay there and breathe. Inhaling, taking your mind's eye to that area. Imagining there's a balloon there that you can fill up with your breath. And as you exhale, you let all that air out, bringing softness and release to all those places. And then we'll inhale the head back to the top of the spine. Exhale to bring the forehead down towards the earth and the palms down towards the ribs. And then inhale to press yourself back up to tabletop. Swing the legs out to the right or the left, or you can cross them behind you and roll the sit bones behind the feet. We're coming to our butts now, our buttocks. And kind of scoot yourself to the end of your mat, the end of the space here. Bringing the soles of the feet down to the mat and hugging those knees in, kind of straightening through the spine, kind of like we did with cow pose, lifting the heart and drawing the shoulder blades down the back, tucking the chin, finding space in between all the vertebrae here. We'll inhale long and strong, and as you exhale, bring the palms behind the thighs and roll one vertebrae at a time down to the mat. Slowly, 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 picturing a little beaded necklace that you're just slowly rolling down to the mat. And when the balance overtakes you, go ahead and draw those knees back in towards the chest. You can stay here, kind of rocking gently from side to side again, like we did at the beginning, or maybe come into happy baby pose. You can bend the knees here and kind of draw the knees towards the shoulders, opening up through the legs. You can have the hands on the backs of the thighs here, or maybe on the calves, or you could reach around to the outsides of the feet, or peace sign those big toes, and just kind of rock back and forth a little bit like a happy little baby. Just letting it be playful and soft and easy. And as you inhale, you might want to straighten through the right leg, pressing that right heel away, coming over into a kind of an archer's pose here. And as you exhale, draw the right heel back to center, rolling back to center, and then maybe inhale that left leg out long, pressing through the left heel, finding the archer's pose, opening up space through the inner thighs. And again, just come and take it freestyle. Figure out what feels good here for you and just let it be fun and easy. Keeping that chin tucked to keep the neck nice and safe, and continuing to find that beautiful balanced breath that you've made for yourself. And then let's go ahead and draw the soles of the feet together like a butterfly. And then draw the knees together so that the legs are parallel, and hug those knees into the chest again. And then let's inhale to send that right leg out long, hugging the left knee in towards the chest. Getting a nice big stretch here, drawing the right toes away and drawing the left knee towards the collarbone. One more inhale here, and as you exhale, go ahead and twist over to the right, drawing that left knee to the right with the right hand, and Maybe send that left arm out to the side and take your gaze out over the left palm, getting a nice, beautiful twist here. Find a couple full breaths here, maybe massaging the outside of that left thigh with your fingertips or your heel of your hand, whatever feels good here. And the next time you exhale, draw the belly button into the spine to bring your core on board so that you can inhale back to center, and then hug the right knee in, sending the left leg out long, finding a big stretch here. Inhale here, and then exhale to draw the right knee to the left with the left hand and send the right hand out to the right, gazing over that right palm. Maybe take a cleansing breath if that feels good here. Noticing what you feel as you continue to breathe. One more inhale here, and on your exhale, tap into that belly button and inhale yourself back to center. Let's draw those knees in towards the nose and the nose towards the knees for one more big hug before we inhale everything out long again. And then let's find our final Shavasana. So traditional Shavasana, arms and legs are straight, the heels of the feet about as wide as the mat, and just letting the toes fall out to the sides. Opening up the arms to the sky, palms shining above you. Tucking those shoulder blades in toward one another, tucking the chin so the neck is nice and long. If this is not comfortable for you, you could come back to that constructive rest pose we started in, with the knees bent and the soles of the feet as wide as the mat, knees touching one another, hands on the belly. Or you could place a couple pillows or a rolled up blanket underneath your knees. Find a restful position where you can relax for just a couple of moments. We'll just find 2 minutes of what I was going to say was quiet stillness, but you might be hearing my cat Princess telling me it's time for treats. If you do, I apologize. So just try to let her voice fade into the background as we find a comfortable place where we can be still. And then just let go of all effort, even of the breath. Just let the body take over, trusting the body to do what it does best. Notice where you can relax. Bring your attention to your toes, just with your inner eye. And let the toes just be relaxed. Notice your feet and just let them be soft. Let the ankles be soft. Let the calves be heavy. Relax the knees. Relax the thighs. Let the hips settle more firmly toward the earth. Notice the support underneath your back, of your mat, and your floor, and the earth beneath you. Let the shoulders be soft and just kind of allow the collarbones to draw away from one another, being heavy. Let the fingers relax and the wrists, the forearms,
the elbows, the biceps and triceps. Let the neck be soft. Let the jaw relax here and the cheekbones. And just let the eyeballs sink more firmly down into your skull. Even relax the ears and the back of the head, the forehead, and finally the crown of the head. As you inhale, focus on your heart. Inhaling love from all around you, from the people that you're practicing with, from your furry family members, from the earth itself. And as you exhale, send the love out from your heart, letting it permeate your whole body, sending it out to all those you love, all the beings, all the places, just rolling in and out of your body like the waves of an ocean. Waves of gentle love, love for yourself, bringing back that intention of being tender and gentle with yourself. And maybe saying to yourself, I am right where I need to be. One more big inhale here. And as you exhale, bring some gentle movement to the fingers and the toes. Just give them a little wiggle. Maybe rotate the ankles and the wrists in one direction and then the other. And maybe find a little movement in the lips, letting the outside of the lips curl upwards, bringing a gentle smile to your face. And then go ahead and roll to whatever side serves you best, coming into a nice little fetal position here, resting your head to your bottom arm, wrapping your top arm around your legs, and give yourself a big hug. Thank yourself for taking good care of yourself. And keeping your eyes closed if they're closed. Inhale and press yourself up to a nice tall seat. Coming into an easy cross-legged pose if that feels good to you. Or you can come back to hero's pose, sitting on your heels. Bring your sit bones evenly and firmly down to the mat and bring your hands to the tops of the thighs or the knees. Let the elbows be heavy. And let those shoulder blades draw down towards the back pockets. Tuck that chin, lift that heart. Draw the crown of the head towards the sky. Let's take a full breath here, finding length through the spine. And then let's inhale, spreading the arms out wide and lifting them up alongside the ears, gathering all that love we inhaled and exhaled, and bringing the palms together and down to the heart. And this is where we tilt the chin gently, recognizing the divinity within one another. I wish you peace in your thoughts, peace in your words, and peace in your heart. Namaste.